I know that I should be anchoring my body clock and reducing my opportunity for sleep. So I'm going to only give myself 5 hours in bed because that's the minimum amount that CBTi allows. So I'm going to go really hardcore for that. And I've been told that if I feel anxious and stressed in bed, I should either leave the bed in the bedroom, which is stimulus control, or sit up in bed and watch some TV, put some Netflix on, or listen to a podcast. Well, that is counter control. But I really want to fix this problem. So I'm going full in. I'm going to go for the more heavy duty options, which is stimulus control. And I'm not going to allow any anxiety to creep up. If I feel it, I'm in bed away for more than 2 minutes. I'm getting out of bed like a jack in a box. And I'm going to force myself back to sleep downstairs by doing something boring. And Joe said I need to get light first thing. So I'm going to stick my head out the window and get light in my eyeballs and go out in the rain. And I'm really going to get stuck into my day, even if I've slept poorly, even if I feel miserable. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to try hard. And that is going to help me overcome my insomnia quicker because I'm doing this course absolutely perfectly. That's how I'm going to overcome this. And I see this a lot. I've sort of mocked it a little bit, but people with insomnia, they tend to have the same type of personality type. This type A personality where you really want to do things well. You really want to fix things. You really want to do things properly. But this really isn't the way to approach your insomnia treatment. So I think with my program, I deliberately have that thing that you probably heard a lot. You don't need to be perfect, just good enough. And that comes with the sleep window as well. If you try and have a really strict window where you're trying to use it like a sledgehammer, where you get so obsessive about making yourself as sleepy as possible, that's again you trying to use more force and more effort to sleep, which is the opposite of what I'm trying to teach. So I think I'm always pushing the best approach is the middle way, the Buddhist way. It's a great way to approach life as well. So we kind of link that to life. What's the most extreme way of not living your life? Well, sitting at home in your mum's basement, eating Cheetos, playing video games, not exercising, not getting stuck into your life. That's one extreme. And the other extreme of living your life is what you see all over YouTube. This real red pill kind of angry way of approaching life where you're up at 4 a.m. and on the treadmill and doing your chi yoga and in your ice baths and really fighting and forcing with life. And that's really not a nice, happy, pleasant way of approaching life either. And you're going to lose friends pretty quickly because these people tend to be dicks. You know, kind of, you know, when you've spent enough time with them, you're like, oh God, you're annoying. And no one wants to be that person. So 2 extremes there, left and the right. The middle way is the good way for approaching life. And the middle way is always a good way of approaching your insomnia treatment. Go to bed when you're not sleepy. Fantastic. Amazing. It means that your anxiety around sleep has come down enough that you no longer feel anxious about sleep. Have a little bit of a lie-in. Amazing, fantastic, wonderful. Good sleepers have lie-ins now and again. You know what? Don't do counter control or stimulus control and have a bit of an anxious night where you lie in bed fighting, forcing, feeding the sleep. All right, not the best approach, but you've learned something. You've learned not to do that again. So hopefully the next night you won't. Have a poor night of sleep and don't get stuck into your day as well as you should done. Fine as well. Again, you know not to do that in the future, and you've got a bit more motivation after a poor night of sleep to try and do more in the day as well. So overcoming insomnia is really hard. The kind of things I outline, they're simple, but we're doing them over a long period of time, doing them with patience, doing them with consistency, doing them when the road gets a little bit bumpy and you get a poor night of sleep where you feel it's not fair and that you shouldn't do. To actually keep going, if you're really kind of hardcore with your approach, if you're really forceful, if you're always making so much effort, if you're always trying to have that type A perfectionist thinking, it misses the point of everything that I'm trying to teach. Good sleepers don't do everything perfectly when they come when it comes to their sleep. They more or less don't give themselves more sleep opportunity than they have to. They more or less don't spend too long in bed. They more or less wake up at the same time. Ultimately, what they do, which is different from someone with insomnia, is they do absolutely nothing. They don't control, they don't obsess, they don't go hardcore to try and make them sleep. They're not doing things during the day. They're not doing things at night time. They're kind of completely neutral and detached from their sleep. And if you're doing the course really hardcore and perfectionist and really going into it hard, then it's very hard to transition towards that place of complete neutrality, which is always the end goal of my treatment with people. Step-by-step program if you want your hand held and if you want to know exactly what to do. Not expensive, an amazing course. I think you're gonna love it. All right, see you in the next video. Bye bye.